Good morning, and welcome to the Grumpy Bagel podcast. I am your host, Megan. You can find me on Ravelry and on Instagram as the Grumpy Bagel, and welcome to episode 5. Thank you for joining me today, and welcome back to returning viewers, and hello to new viewers. So, I have not as much to show you today as I would like to. I've been kind of in a bit of a knitting funk, or I lost my knitting mojo. I'm not sure if it's because of the heat waves that we've been having lately that just kind of discourage all those warm and woolly thoughts, or, changing of the seasons. But today, I am glad to say that on the West Coast, we finally had a nice cool evening and morning. All the pumpkin things are starting to come back, which makes it feel like, fall is finally getting here, and it'll be cooler and we can get fully into our knitting. So I have some finished objects to show you. This first one was actually finished the last time I recorded, but I hadn't blocked it yet. So I wanted to wait to show you. It is a Lorelei, or Lorelei, I'm not sure how she prefers to pronounce it, by Lisa Hands. It is a boomerang style asymmetrical shawl. It's huge. I'll try to show it to you over here. So here's the first end here. It has a garter section, and then going into a mosaic section in the middle. You combine your two colors, and then on into a final lace section here. So I used 2 colors of Hedgehog Fibers sock, the 9010 Superwash Merino Nylon blend, and I used Merlot, which is this hot pink color here, and Shamrock for my second color. This was for my mom. She picked out these colors at my local yarn shop a few months ago. I can't remember exactly how long ago it was, and just love the color. She's not afraid of color, and picked those colors and decided that she wanted something to do with it, but we only recently decided that it would be this one. And I used US 4, which is a 3.5 millimeter needles for the garter section and on the lace section, and then went up one size, so 3.75 millimeter for the mosaic. Sorry, we have planes around here, if you hadn't noticed that. So went up another size for the mosaic section here, which is kind of recommended that you do, but I would have done it anyway, just because that's the nature of mosaic knitting, is that it will get tighter since you're doing slip stitches and carrying yarn in the back. I'll show you the back here. So almost looks the same as the back, but a little cleaner on this side there. So I haven't even measured it yet. I'm kind of afraid to how big it's going to be. So that is one Lorelei shawl. Here. I also finished the Star Shower cowl that I showed you last episode, which is by Hilary Smith Callis, and I knit that out of the Hanalei hand-dyed Superwash Merino Nylon fingering blend in Manoa Orchid here. And I made this on US 7s, so 4.5 millimeter needles, so it's nice and roomy there. So here. And I didn't do any mods on this one. All the ones that I've made before, I've done the edge a little bit differently, where I've done, instead of doing this longer edge here, I just did more garter stitch. But this time I just did everything as the pattern states. Do something different for once. So that's this Star Shower. This is another one for my mom. Those are her favorite cowls. There are the Star Shower or the Willow cowl. Those are the two that she'll go to for using up a fingering weight skein. And I decided to make a Star Shower for myself. That I've made several, but have kind of been back and forth between whether I wanted one for myself or not, and finally decided that yes, I would like it. Made one for myself, and I made this one out of Once Upon a Corgi's Audrey base, this was from the Series of Unfortunate Events Club for the Hostel Hospital and Murderer Attempts to Murder Murderer. These nice greens and yellows, and you can decide whether those are pink splashes or red splashes. I guess that's up to you. So again, no mods on this one. And I made this on size 6, so 4mm needles, just because that would be my preferred style. The Star Shower, if you look on the Ravelry page, it's designed so that you could pull it over your shoulders if you'd like to, but I know I would never wear it like that. That's purely personal, so I wanted something that would just stay on my neck, so I intentionally made one at a slightly tighter gauge. So that is going to be one for myself. And these are colors I don't really wear that often, so that'll be kind of branching out for me. So second Star Shower. And let's see, get my hair. Anyway, so that is all I have for finished objects, and I only have one work in progress to show you this time. I won't, like I said last episode, I won't show you the Hitchhiker by Martina Beam that I'm doing, just because I haven't made any noticeable progress on it, but I will show you how I've progressed on my duotone cowl, which is by Orange Flower Yarn Designs. And I am knitting that out of some Becoming Art, let's see, I'm trying to remember, Agave Sport, which is this lovely, the MCN base, merino cashmere nylon in Perfect Mango, and another Becoming Art yarn, Thea MCS, merino cashmere silk in Plum Blossom. And I have made a considerable progress on this one. Here is what I've got so far. So this is, got my Gnome Knitter Progress Keeper here. This is where I was the last time I recorded. So I have done all this in the meantime. And I forgot to tell you what modifications I was going to be doing on this one last episode. So it's a free pattern, so I don't mind telling you this. I got the recommended gauge on size 8s, so 5mm needles, but it just felt too loose to me, even though it specifically stated that you should, whatever yarn that you do use, to use a gauge that's looser than you normally would, so you get a nice drape and squishy feel out of it, but it just felt just way too loose for me. It just made my teeth itch. It was just too much. So I went down the needle size and looked at the helpful pages or helpful projects on Ravelry and found some modifications and decided to do that one for this. So instead of, I think it's 88 stitches that you normally do for this one, I did just 70 stitches in the round. So it'll be narrower, but then I'll be able to make it longer as well. I wanted to try to get a double loop out of this if I possibly could and use up all of the lovely squishiness here. So 70 stitches, and I'm going to do, or I have done 25 repeats on each side, so 25 of the thick yellow stripes, and then working toward 25 of the thick purple stripes on here before I graft it together. And I am not cutting my yarn each time I do a color change. I'm simply not going to do that for something like this. So I'm carrying up my yarn, and so I'll show you how I've been doing that. I've got my provisional cast on here in aqua green, some cotton so it doesn't grab when I finally pull that out, and on the inside this is how I've been carrying up my yarn. The inside. Took a little practice to make sure that I didn't pull it too tight each time, so it's not puckering so far. And I've been doing, trying a slip stitch method for trying to get jogless stripes. Here, it doesn't look perfect, but the thing is, even no matter what you do for jogless stripes, there's still going to be a little something that you can tell is off. So just anyway, trying something different, doing my best, and maybe it'll block out. That's what we always tell ourselves, right? When something's off there, but it's not too bad. it's not too noticeable. So hopefully with some little tugging and pulling, it'll block right out. So that is my duotone cowl. So my only work in progress. So that just leaves me on to acquisitions then. And I kind of alluded to this last time that I said something like I was tired and been had a long day the day before. I had last month went to Portland in Oregon to visit some of my family, a long overdue trip there. I've only actually been up there once before since the bulk of the family that moved up there was there, so definitely needed to go, and was very glad to be able to get there. We really needed the time together as a family. I was finally able to get to just one this time, one of the many yarn shops that Portland has to offer, and I didn't do that the last time I went, and I thought if that happens again, I am going to lose my reputation as a knitter, and I'll never be able to live it down. So family was very loving and obliging to me to go to one of the yarn shops that was close by, and I went to Twisted Yarn Shop. I have their business card here. It's a really nice shop, very friendly, very inviting. They have a whole wall of I think it was knitted wit yarn on one side, and then on the other side, and it keeps on going back. You just keep on going, and there's more and more yarn. And there was some Brooklyn tweed and Blue Moon fiber arts, which I've never been able to see in person before, so that was neat. And some Malabrigo. And you keep on going back, and then they had spinning and weaving supplies, which is really cool. Because my mom, she's not really interested in knitting. She's very knit-worthy, but she's not interested in knitting. But she has finally decided to try spinning. So that'll be interesting to see how this works out between ourselves to that she'll spin and I'll knit kind of thing. It'll be interesting. So what I got from there was, let's see, there was a Madeline Tosh sale. That's what it was. Got me started here. So I do know what these are going to be, but let me show you the colors first. I have got a unicorn tail in ink, and charcoal, and jade, and fathom. I think it's my favorite one. Just that rich, rich blue. Flash Dance, a purpley pink. And then probably their most famous pink from Madeline Tosh is Coquette. So that there. So like I said, this was on clearance, this was on sale, so that makes it sort of okay. And what they had as a display item for the Madeline Tosh was a toolbox cowl, which is designed by, well, it's published by Adventure du Jour, which is a collaboration between Marcy Vandale and Debbie Stone. And I have made the toolbox before, and I made it out of a Canon Hand Dyes colorwork set, which was in Release the Kraken, which, release the Kraken, that kind of thing. I love it. But I've been wanting to make another one. I like the design, it was fun to knit, and I thought with these I could, see if I can arrange these nicely, that maybe I could make a jewel tone version of the toolbox cowl. So I have no idea what order they're going to be in for that yet. I'm going to have to experiment some and try it out, but definitely the colors that I want to use for there. So that's what those will be. And I got I ended up getting actually 3 skeins of this. Some Malabrigo sock in Wales Road. Sorry. Which is these lovely green and purple blue colors, almost a peacocky color. So actually what happened is, well, first of all, what happened is I wasn't sure about this. I really, really wanted it, but needed that extra go ahead to get permission to get it. And so I, got my mom's attention to come from the other side of the shop, and I said, I want to show you this color that I saw in the Malabrigo section. And she says, oh, I want to show you a color too. And we both pointed to this color. So it's okay, that seals it. We're getting this one. So I got 2 skeins of this for myself, and then Mom bought one for herself. So technically I have 3 of these to play with. So I don't know what they'll be yet, but it'll be something gorgeous, I am sure. So 3 skeins of those. And, oh, the last things that I got were new to me brand, Hazel Knits. And I got the Entice Luxury Fingering Weight base, which is their MCN base, Merino Cashmere Nylon. See there. So 70, 20, 10. And I got a Quill, which is this nice gray with hints of brown in it. And then this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful red called Vamp. And I'm intending to use these in a project together, very possibly an Anjuli cowl or Anguli cowl by Hilary Smith Callis. They're together. But this one's just so pretty, I might just end up using it by itself, I don't know. Or I would very, very seriously consider getting a sweater's quantity worth of this in any of the bases that they have. It's just that perfect in-depth red going into, and a name like that, it satisfies my, dark soul there. So those are all my acquisitions from Twisted. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. Forgot one. This here. I got a Notions pouch. This nice print with like different letters and some newsprint on it. This is by Flower Pie. Handmade by Flower Pie. I have not been able to find a website for this, unfortunately. I'm assuming it's a local maker. But I can't find an Etsy shop. I can't find a website for them, unfortunately. Look, the lining, too. It's nice inside. So I don't know how to direct you to the rest of what they make, unfortunately, unless you happen to live in the Portland vicinity and can visit Twisted yourself, which I do recommend. There, so my Notions pouch. And then, well, like I said, my family came with me to the yarn shop, and my grandma bought me a mug, which I will show you here. I think they know me too well. Yeah, they kind of do. It's pretty accurate. So this is by JAM PDX Ceramics. So I'll try to show you I'm not sure if you can see it as well, but there's a stamp at the bottom. I'll put their website down on here. And they make lots of mugs and yarn bowls as well, and things featuring akin to this design. Basically, this is the most polite version of that mug that I have right here. So, fair warning there. Still. Oh, and show you the color inside. So, there you go. Kind of nice jadey green there. So that's everything from Twisted. Let's see, and the rest of what I have to show you is a lot of Once Upon a Corgi yarn from Gabby. I have the last month's installment for the series of Unfortunate Events Yarn Club, which is always on her Audrey base, which is the 80-20 Superwash Blueface Leicester and Nylon. And this month, well, sorry, last month was for book 11, The Grim Grotto, and we got Queequeg. This is really neat. It's not mint, but just this aqua green going into blues here. You can see more of the speckles down on here. I'm going with this kind of bronzy brown color. And his name here for the submarine on which most of the book takes place, Queequeg, captained by Captain Wittershins. And in a recent update, she brought back Gilded Teacup, which is really just, I can't describe this blue, but it's just gorgeous. One of her tonals, and I've been wanting this color for a long time. but it hadn't been in the shop for a while. So as soon as this was back, I snagged some and got in her ginger base, which is her sparkle base. So 75% superwash merino, 20% nylon, and 5% gold stellina. Show you label here. And it was a chance to try out a new base of hers. And I'm not sure if I know what to make with this yet or not. I've been thinking of maybe making a Longbourn shawl by Kay Jones of Bakery Bears for it, and they're doing a Jane Austen knit along for the next, I forgot when exactly it ends. I think at the end of this month maybe. But anything inspired by Jane Austen or the colors, and it kind of does remind me of kind of a Regency color, and gilded teacup. It could work, right? So maybe that's what it'll be, maybe not. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided. And oh, the last thing I have is another club by Gabby that I managed to snag a spot in her Edgar Allan Poe club. And she's already shown this on her podcast, so I feel alright showing it. This was the first installment. It's a 3-month club. This came on the Oliver base, which is the superwash, 100% superwash merino single ply base. And it's called Tomorrow I Shall Be Fetterless, which is inspired by the Imp of the Perverse. And it's this, it's like you can't quite decide whether it's technically gray or technically blue on here, with speckles and shots of all sorts of different colors. There's some pink in here and some gold there, and going into almost a mauvey brown shots here on the inside, and then back on the end here. And I think I know what this one's going to be. I have been thinking of it's a new pattern on Ravelry. It's called Dodging Raindrops Cowl by Vanessa Ewing, and I think that's what this is going to be, because I want something that will be able to show off all those colors as best as they can. I think it'd look really interesting in this color. So that is that for acquisitions, and I think that's it for everything today to show you. It's going to be a shorter podcast than normal, and hopefully I'll be more productive next time and have some of my mojo back, my inspiration back for the next time that I podcast. So I will leave you with that. Thank you once again for joining me today. There's lots of podcasts out there to choose from, so thank you for spending some of your time with me today. And I hope all of your projects and your knitting goes well. And until the next time, once again, happy knitting. Bye.